SuperTalk Mississippi media production. Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Brown.
None of this meeting is recorded. None, by any party. Correct?
No, sir, none is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any contact.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, party accused, party on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good morning on a Thursday, and you know Thursday is not just any day here on SuperTalk Pike County. It's North Pike Thursday, brought to you by Selman's and Southwest Supply. And today is the day to talk to this gentleman, the one and only Coach Dusty Lott joins us. How you doing this morning, sir?
Doing good, Dave. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Got your North Pike baseball shirt on. It's kind of a hoodie.
Yeah, it's a little short sleeve hoodie. Coach Brady Jones turned me on to these. You're very comfortable.
It looks good.
Very comfortable, very stretchy. I enjoy it. So on game day, I usually break it out.
Well, you need to be comfortable today because, I hate the phrase when we start the playoffs, and that's where we're at.
That's where we're at.
You're kicking the playoffs off tonight. Purvis, we're coming for you. But I've heard the expression before. Well, now they start to count. They've been counting since scrimmages, haven't they?
Oh yeah. We chart everything. I've over the years I've learned that when you chart everything, it becomes more important because they're able to see their numbers at the end of the fall or at the through these scrimmages in the spring. And we count everything. Everything's got data to it, numerical somehow. And they like to compete over that. We were just competing yesterday in batting practice.
That's the heart of, amazingly enough, somebody's gonna raise an eyebrow. I want to make this comparison. That's the heart of science. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of science in baseball. Most people don't realize that. But specifically, what you're talking about there, in science, nothing is real, nothing matters, and nothing can be improved until it's measured.
Yeah, until you, that's right. You put a number on it, and science. I mean, I teach biology, so we start the year with understanding that unless you have evidence to back it up, nobody's gonna take that claim seriously. They wanna see the evidence.
Well. And it actually matters, which makes it more motivating, which leads to more improvement, because it's one thing to get to the end of the year and be in the locker room and have a jaw session about who's the best batter this year.
Oh, yeah.
But then Coach whoops out the chart, and there's no arguing going on.
The numbers. That's right. The numbers back it up. Baseball is and I mean, of course, I've loved baseball since I've been able to walk, and the numbers are so hallowed, in baseball. I can't tell you who leads the NFL in rushing yards or how many, rushing yards that was, but our basketball, but baseball, those numbers are so hallowed that there's a lot of it behind that.
Well, yeah, and you have to realize it's been that way since the beginning. You've just improved it over the years in baseball and gotten it to a really tiny granular level that you track these things.
Oh, the metrics now are unbelievable. I think if if we'd have had those back when I was younger, I might have would have leaned into going into some type of because I wasn't good enough to play, but leaned into some type of job where I was crunching numbers and saying, the science behind the data is this. I mean, I enjoy going over to Southwest with their TrackMan and watching pitchers throw to see the velocity and the spin rate or the exit velocities coming off the bat. I mean, those numbers just can tell the story. They back up what you see.
This is a bad example, but still it plays into what we're talking about. Go watch the movie Moneyball if you don't know what we're talking about. That was all about tracking every single number.
It was, yeah. The Boston Red Sox and Billy Beane, he was the GM, I guess, did a great job with crunching those numbers and finding out. I was talking to a kid the other day and I was just telling him, I was like, did you know that, a walk or a hit by pitch statistically is worth more runs than a single? And he looked at me like crazy. I'm like, well, yeah, it's worth like 0.35 runs or something like that. But, it just adds a little more wear and tear on the pitcher with a walk or a hit by pitch and leads to actually a greater run value than just a straight up single.
Not only does it lead to more wear and tear because they're throwing more pitches, it wears on the pitcher emotionally.
Exactly.
To give a walk or hit someone with a pitch.
Exactly. It's a freebie. It's something that you gave the other team that they didn't earn. And I tell my guys this all the time. Most baseball games are lost and not won, What we give the other team, really will come back to haunt us. Of course, they're going to get their base hits and stuff like that. But as long as you're not giving them free passes and having runners on base when those base hits come, you're going to be in just about every game you play.
Well, talking about that with the mental aspect, that is such a huge deal in baseball, and things can turn on a dime just with one thing happening in the middle of a game, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Baseball is, so difficult. It's a game of failure, and these guys, I really think that's what separates, those elite guys that end up being Hall of Famers from the other guys. I don't necessarily think they're that much better physically. It's just mentally they can handle failure and they learn how to put that at bat behind them and focus on the next pitch. We say that a lot. So, so what? So what that umpire missed that call, next pitch. Let's focus on the next pitch. We can't give away our at bat because we got a bad call on strike one.
Used to tell kids when Dixie Youth, my kids were involved in it, I used to tell the kids they would start beating themselves up because, they weren't getting a hit every single time. Yeah, but the mentality. And I gathered them around one day and I explained and I said, look, let me ask you something. Does anybody here know in Major League Baseball who has the best batting average of all time? And got to tell them about Ted Williams. And then I said, did you know he didn't get on base more than he did? If you go back and look, his batting average, the best of all time, is in the low 400s, which means almost 6 out of every 10 times it didn't turn out too well for him.
Yeah.
And that's the best that ever played.
Yeah.
It's hard to make that adjustment mentally, though, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, it's a game of failure. We try to tell our kids, help the team win. All right. Did you have a productive at bat? Did you move a runner? Did you get on base? Did you do something positive? Because you can't just sit down and chart hits and outs. Because if you just chart hits and outs, you're going to be miserable. You're going to feel, like a failure because it is a game of failure. Whoever invented it must have been sitting there twiddling their thumbs and be like, how can I make this any harder?
Yeah, I was going to say they were more than a little sadistic, whoever invented baseball, because the deeper you get into it, the more you realize, wow, this stinks.
Yeah.
And it's also the greatest thing ever. Now, tonight, as we mentioned, all of this comes into play because it is the start of the playoffs tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about what we've got. We're matched up against Purvis in this opening round, right?
Yes, we are matched up against Purvis. Our side, there's only two halves in 5A baseball in the South. There's I side, and then there's the other side, the coast side. Majority of those teams are from the coast and the east of us. They play really good baseball over there. They have for a long time. You don't have to travel but 5-10 minutes up the road on the coast, and you can play, as good a baseball as you want. So that district was very competitive. Everybody beat everybody over there, and it just shook out that we're going to face Purvis.
Tell me a little bit about getting the team ready for it. Have you played Purvis this year?
We have not. We've played common opponents, but we have not played them.
So have you done anything special this week, which is usually kind of the kiss of death when you're getting ready for playoffs?
Yeah, usually, I can look back and remember when I coached football or something. When you got out of what you do and you started trying to do something different because of your opponent, never seemed to have a whole lot of success. So, I always tell our guys, we're playing a faceless opponent. It's you against the game. Play it to the best of your ability. Make the plays when they come to you. When you have an at-bat, help the team win. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who's on the other side. You just play against yourself and against the game. That's hard enough.
Now, the Jags, you guys finished in third, right?
We did. We finished in third. We 7-3 in the region, and that tied with South Jones. But we split with them, and they had a greater run differential than us. So South Jones got the 2 seed, and we managed to get the 3 seed.
Very good. Now, of course, in the next round, also starting out tonight, you've got the matchup that will eventually pick the winner to play whoever wins between you and Purvis. That's Summerall and Stone. There are no easy steps in this for you guys, are there?
No. 5A baseball is real good in the South. I was joking the other day. I was like, 5A. Well, a couple years ago, we moved into 5A, and I was like, this is not a bad move for us. I was like, the quality of baseball is going to be really good, but you're not going to have as many competitive teams to beat. And then they reclassified
you fool,
and Summerall and Purvis and Northeast Jones, 3 of the top teams in 4A, moved up to 5A. And I was like, oh, great. That's great.
That's what you get for sitting at your desk and going, I got it pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, never do that.
Yep.
Never do that. So now you're stuck with all of these buzzsaws.
They are. They're really good. Summerall, they're really good. They play such solid baseball, and they do have a superstar this year. Normally they have a lot of guys who are just real solid, but they do now have he's a legit guy, one of the better ones I've ever seen. Purvis is going to be solid. They played for 4A last year. They lost a lot of talent, but here they are again. This league is really good. I'm glad to be a part of it, though. I'm glad to be a part of it because it's good competition, and if you don't do your homework and you don't prepare, you'll go out there and you'll get embarrassed. So you got to be, keeps you focused.
You play to the level of your competition.
I hope so.
That's the plan.
You better, or like I said, you'll get embarrassed.
Any special things you're going to be watching for out of Purvis that you guys are going to have to deal with? What's the biggest problem playing Purvis, in your opinion?
I think that their pitching, not overpowering, but really solid. I think they only walked 2 hitters maybe in a 3-game series against East Central when they played. So they're going to throw the ball over the plate and make you earn everything. That's what good baseball teams do, Like I said earlier, most games are lost rather than won. They're not going to give us, I don't expect them to give us a lot of things. I think everything that we get, we're going to have to earn. So, we'll be ready to go out there and compete and try to do that.
7:00 tonight, first pitch. It's at Purvis, right?
Yes, 7:00 tonight at Purvis. Mm-hmm.
And then we'll come back for game 2 to North Pike?
Mm-hmm. Game 2 to North Pike. We decided to try to beat this weather a little bit, so we moved up game 2. It'll be tomorrow night, Friday night, 6:00, North Pike High School.
Okay, so 6 o'clock tomorrow night. If you don't want to drive to Purvis, it's a lovely drive. You get just close enough to the coast to where you get that feel in the air and that look in the air that you're near the coast. But go down to Purvis for game 1 tonight at 7. Then you got game 2 tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Game 3, if necessary, you're going to try to get that in Saturday?
I think we're going to. I think Saturday's going to be a wash.
It kind of looks like it.
Yeah. So right now we're planned to play it on Monday, and we'll see from there.
Okay. So for now, the plan is game 3, if necessary, will be Monday.
Monday at Purvis, if necessary.
That makes perfect sense. So 7 o'clock tonight, make the trip. It's not that far of a trip. You go to Hattiesburg and hang a right. That's the directions.
That's it.
That's about all you need. Go to Hattiesburg, hang a right, go down. You get about another 30, 40 minutes worth of driving. You wind up in Purvis. And you can support your North Pike Jaguars. And then zero excuse to not be there tomorrow night at 6 o'clock for game 2 in this series. It's always an exciting time, and at the same time, it's got to be kind of like after you leave the house on a trip and your wife 10 times goes, "Did we turn the oven off? I think I didn't do this. Did I do that?" You got a million things going through your mind trying to remember if you've taken care of all the details and your team is as ready as it can be, don't you?
Yeah, there are. We compile a list of things that we need to cover at the beginning of the year, how many times we need to cover them, things like that. So, at this point, as I plan practice, I'm like, we didn't make sure we do our, pitcher's field in practice, make sure that yesterday we really worked hard on our bunt coverages. Day before that, our first and third defense. A lot of boxes to check, but, you check them off, you keep organized, check them off, and hope your guys are ready to play.
Bunt coverages.
Yeah.
You're going to make sure I have nightmares tonight now. Well, I tell you what, it's going to be a great night, 7 o'clock in Purvis. That's first pitch time, is 7 o'clock,
yes,
right? Get down there and support them and get ready to go. It is not just the opening round, it's the opening game of the 2026 5A MHSAA baseball playoffs. Jaguars are there.
Absolutely. Proud to be there. It's good baseball. Come on out.
And now you got a lot of work in front of you.
Oh, absolutely. The second season has begun, and we're proud to be here, but we don't want to end our season just yet, so we're going to go to work.
Well, go get to work.
Thank you.
You're sitting here visiting. You should be doing something, man. Coach Dusty Lott, always enjoy having you over here. We'll have you back soon and get an update on how things are going.
Absolutely. Would love to do that. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. We continue on this North Pike Thursday. Brought to you by Selman's Jewelers and Southwest Supply after this. Keep it here.
Off my wounds for me. Darkness in my veins, I never could explain, and I wonder if you ever see.
Southwest Supply Company is your local source for supplying your office, restaurant, concession stand, or household, cleaning and janitorial supplies, food service items, and more. We're proud to be able to deliver all of your office supplies, office furniture, and business machines. Call 601-684-5521 or visit us at 1036 Gordon Covington Road in Summit. Southwest Supply Company, delivering weekly to Macomb, Brookhaven, and surrounding areas.
Every now and then we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selman's, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selman's. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't escape in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Hear my friend
weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on. Welcome back. Super Talk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5. Thursday morning. And, you know, back at the beginning of the week, we had a situation that developed because over the weekend, apparently, is when this started to appear. There was a pothole downtown on South Broadway, right where State Street joins into South Broadway in downtown Macomb, right in front of the Trustmark building. And this thing grew, and it grew, and it grew. And you could see some water around it, and you're like, oh, I got this figured out. Obviously, there's some sort of infrastructure problem beneath the street because it was a pot crater. It was not a pothole in very short order. And then, we all knew what was going to happen. We all knew where it was headed. We had this on Main Street, a year or two ago? Oh, wait, no. What are you doing? This was clean water. There was no poop involved. This was clean water that was spewing about 30 feet in the air. Right there on Broadway.
We ain't seen a poop geyser.
No, but we have seen a regular geyser, and that's what they were dealing with Public Works. This goes back to, this is the second geyser in the last year or two. And again, when I say geyser, it may sound like, Dave is exaggerating. He's engaging in hyperbole, wants to gain. No. When you've got water shooting up straight in a pressurized stream 20, 30 feet in the air, that's a geyser. We've had two now. This goes back to what I've been saying. We have had so many petty arguments over ridiculous things over the last 8 years in the city of Macomb. You know what we haven't done? Work on the infrastructure, with the exception of Delaware. Got to give full credit. As you know, they dug up Delaware apparently all the pipes are under the turn lane. I had forgotten that. But dug up all the pipes and replaced and fixed them. So Delaware's in good shape. It's going to take that everywhere, because as we continue forward, not only is this not the last problem like this that we're going to have, they're going to become more frequent. They're going to become more widespread. It won't be just downtown anymore. Both of these, you notice, the geyser that happened down on the east end of Main Street, sometime back, what was it, last year, I think? And this one, right at the intersection of State and Broadway, that's 2 blocks from each other? So that entire area, I think we have enough definitive evidence now to say we need to dig up the streets and replace and or fix the pipes all over downtown Macomb. We talk about, you've heard the phrase, it's come back into vogue, Heard several people use it. The broken window theory. Somebody drives into town and they see a bunch of broken windows. Well, it doesn't give a good impression. It's what I've been talking about for years. Curb appeal. That's a real estate term. How does it look from the curb? Does it look like someplace you'd like to be? They talk about that when they're selling a home. Same thing applies when you're trying to attract someone to spend money in your municipality or possibly move there or move their business there. Your community has to have curb appeal. We had the announcement from the Macomb Main Street Association, the Broken Windows Project, basically. They're going to spruce everything up and make it look livable again in downtown Macomb. Brandon Andrews, friend of the show, he hasn't been on this week. I've been so lonely, but doing a great job shepherding that, and it's a good move. But let me ask you, if a broken window gives someone a bad impression, what does a 30-foot tall geyser of fountaining water inside an ugly hole in the road do? What kind of impression does that give? So you come to Macomb, there's a geyser of water shooting up in the air. Everything's all busted up. You leave. You go, nope, forget it. Oh, a year and a half, 2 years pass, and you go, oh, well, you kind of forget about it a little bit. Emotionally, you forget about it. You go, well, I'm going to go give Macomb another try. You pull up this time. While the talks have started, everything isn't fixed. It's good movement, but a year or two later, it's still, we have the broken windows, if you will. And you still have a geyser of water shooting in the air, just in a different spot. Now what's your opinion? We have been focused on the wrong things for so long, it is quite frankly depressing. And we have to spend some time and, much more importantly, spend some money getting the infrastructure right. How many times have I said this? How much have you and I talked about the fact that the sewer pipes and the water pipes under the streets of Macomb are garbage? Swiss cheese does a better job of containing liquids than the pipes underneath the streets of Macomb. And we keep blowing that off. We keep brushing it aside because we just do not have the will, and now, thanks to apparent severe financial mismanagement, we don't have the money to do it. Knocking it out of the park. That's what we're doing. So if you haven't seen it, there are videos. As a matter of fact, the city of Macomb posted a video of the geyser right there on Broadway, and the public works crew out there going, what do we do about this? I'm glad they know what to do about it. I would never know. You got a cork? Hand me some Flex Seal. That's all I would have. That's the only suggestion that I could bring to the table, but they're standing around digging it up and going to get it fixed. But there is one positive I can say about this. At least, if nothing else, we know water pressure's pretty good. You could tell by how high the water was shooting. Water pressure, just fine. Thank you. So yeah, that's the latest kerfuffle. That's two geysers. 2 geysers now from the city water system in downtown Macomb over the last year or two. There will be a third. I didn't even have to get my crystal ball out for that one. That's just pattern recognition. Now, let's move along. We heard a lot about the NOLA cameras when they put them in. And it was presented and it was talked about like, oh, this is a good thing. We're getting it all done in one shot. Going to be fine. Oh, no, we got additional cameras we got to put in. We got additional features we got to upgrade. It's just like anything else. You buy into a system and then you've got additional features and packages. It's like buying into a streaming service, getting a subscription, and then you find out you got the wrong subscription and you're still getting ads. So you got to upgrade your subscription. You got to bump it up. So a lot of things like that. Macomb Police Chief and the board had a discussion about all of this Tuesday night.
We're going to move to NOLA. If there are no other questions about that, we'll move to the NOLA project. These are the ongoing cameras that we've been operating, that the chief and assistant chief, that we had 6 additional cameras. This is just information that was left over. We now are installing those 6 cameras, and these are the invoices. These are some of the invoices for use. And so that's what these are for the use of the cameras. And also, for what we're doing is that we're having their tech go through all of the cameras to assure that those cameras are operating the way that they were intended, and repositioning some of those cameras because we were not getting the data that we had expected to get. And so he did come out and go through a number of them. Many of them he can log on from his home and work on those in the evening hours. So that's what these invoices are for.
Let me inquire, because I'm looking at dates.
Yeah.
First one says invoice date 12/23/24. We did not pay this, or they did not invoice us, or what?
They did not invoice us. This is, I was just, when I saw these, I said, wow, I haven't seen an invoice from them in a long time.
Okay. So, and this other one is an invoice for 25. Because this one says 29,000, and then the next one from NOLA says balance due 11,000.
So it sounds like they're using the same accountants as the city of Macomb government does. Well, that's not fair. We've had some good accountants come in, and we've had some good accountants run away screaming. But you know what I mean. We're still getting bills from 2024. City Administrator Bell said, I hadn't seen any invoices from them in a long time, in the couple of months he's been here so far. Good to know.
I'm just trying to get an understanding.
I have not seen any invoices from them. I've been here now about right at 6 months, and the first time I got here, I did see a number of invoices from them. We did have a number of conversations, and I have not seen any invoices from them until I saw them in this package. Chief, did you turn these in?
I turned them in to you all when we received them. But if you revert back to maybe the minutes when we got these, there was some type of program that I hadn't seen the contract or anything, but I think there was some type of shared program with NOLA that was federally funded in reference to the first 2 years or something like that. So I would probably look back at the original conception of these cameras. I'm not familiar. They was before my time also.
Okay, I'm reading here. It says the city of Macomb prepaid the first 2 years of cloud service in advance, but still owe cloud fees for the period of June 2025 to June 2026. So that's the $11,000 there.
Right.
Okay. Selectwoman Bailey.
It's almost painful sometimes to watch us scratch and claw and drag our way through simple processes like we got a bill. We're 3.5 minutes into this conversation and we're still at the point where we're saying, well, we got some bills, need to pay them. When's the last time you had a 5 to 10 minute conversation over a bill you got for something you signed up for? You signed the contract. You knew what it was. 24, guess who was the mayor? I mean, this is not new information, but we are having to scratch and claw and drag our way through everything. Everything is a dragged out extensively over-talked thing. I would like to point out that I think there's a little confusion about this. I've seen this in a lot of arenas. State, federal, local, obviously, but it's everywhere. We have developed, I can't really even truthfully say developed because it's not like this just started, but it really has ramped up in recent years. The idea that the easiest way to make people think you're smart is to keep talking. The opposite usually is true. Just because it takes you this entire clip, I'm not even going to play the whole thing. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a headache listening to this. It's a 10-minute long clip. This discussion on the NOLA cameras. 10 minutes. It took 10 minutes worth of conversation and making sure everybody can weigh in with their buy-in and their opinion and get everything. You got bills. Pay them. Next. There, I just handled it in less than 10 seconds. Forget 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, but we have to understand exactly what's going on. You don't understand anything that's going on with the finances of the city of Macomb. Once again, the state auditor sent you a letter proving that. The financial report we got last week proves that we have spent $1 million more in the city of Macomb during this fiscal year than we have brought in. Please do not think that if you just keep talking long enough, everybody will think you're fiscally sound and financially responsible. Neither one is indicated to be true from the available evidence. But we talk and we drone on and on and on and on. Hey, we got 2 bills. Those are old. Yeah, well, we prepaid for the first 2 years and they forgot the invoices, but here they are. We owe these for the cloud service. All right, all in favor? That's it. That's all you need. You don't need 10 minutes worth of back and forth to make sure everybody gets their chance, to make sure that everyone hears them talking in an intelligent, fiscally responsible way. It's not fiscal responsibility when you spend $1 million more than you have brought in for the fiscal year so far. It's not fiscal responsibility when the state auditor has to send a letter threatening to take your tax receipts because you can't bother to get your books audited for almost half a decade. And I'm getting real tired of everyone thinking that's the way you go about this. I have said it before, but I have to clarify it now. I have said many times over the years that I would love there to be nothing to talk about in the meetings because good governance is boring. It is. If things are being run properly, if things are being run well, if things are going as they're supposed to go, there's nothing to talk about. We got a bill, pay the bill. All in favor? Aye. Next item. And then you move on. That's literally how it works. Now, this was a work session. No votes are allowed to be taken, which makes it even worse because I guarantee you next Tuesday, the NOLA camera bills, we will have another discussion about this. Might not be 10 minutes, but you have to add it to this one. When I said good governance is boring, I mean it's quick, it's efficient, you get things done, you move on. I didn't mean everybody's got to talk for half an hour just to make sure that we look as smart as we can look. You know what looks smart? A clean audit and a balanced budget. We can't pull off either one of those in the city of Macomb. That looks smart. And also, if you're doing the things to make that stuff happen, it's also boring. But this was boring in a different way. This was boring because it had the veneer of inefficiency on it. And was really ultimately unnecessary. We're all happy that everyone loves the sound of their own voice. That does not mean anyone else is required to even like it, much less love it. So maybe let's tamp down a little bit on the performative debates and discussions and explanations and just get some work done. We were talking baseball at the start of the show. If a baseball coach comes out and the first hour and a half of practice is him explaining how much he knows and how this seems odd and we need to check on this, and your pitch count was down a little bit last week, we need to analyze that in depth, we'll get to actually practicing later, you're not going to win a lot of games. There's a time for talk, there's a time for action. The city is in such ridiculous financial shape, we don't have a lot of talk time at this point. It should be all action. We continue. President Trump pulled the trigger this morning. Not on what you think. We'll talk about that. And the guy that was arrested in Florida headed to New Orleans. Oh, you're going to love this one. We'll talk about that next here on Super Talk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Keep it here.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the rhymes, but the lack thereof when they nail me inside. I would swallow my doubt, turn it inside out, find nothing but faith in nothing. I wanna put my tender heart in a blender, watch it spin around to a beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then I'm through with you. SoCal is where my mind stays, but it's not my state of mind. I'm not as ugly, sad as you.
Welcome back.
Or am I origami?
Super Talk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Dave Hughes here. President Trump this morning, he had been saying he was going to do it. He has now pulled the trigger on it. The acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, signed an order reclassifying state-licensed medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug. Because, unless the state gives it to you, it's bad. That's literally what's being said here. Dropped it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. What that means, we hear that all the time. Controlled substances, Schedule 1, which has included marijuana since 1937, well, a little after that, includes ecstasy, heroin, PCP, LSD, and up until now, marijuana. Well, if the government didn't give it to you, it still includes marijuana. The state-approved marijuana now is going to be a Schedule 3 drug. That includes hydrocodone. Yeah, Tylenol, the super juiced Tylenol, steroids, things like that. That's the Schedule 3. That's now going to include. Here is the big effect of this. This is the biggest effect that it's going to have. You're going to see more research now into cannabis. Researchers will be able to get it. Any medicine they derive from marijuana is going to be Schedule 3 moving forward. The Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 is the one I was talking about, and it spelled marijuana with an H instead of a J. Because things are exactly as they were back in 1937. You got about 20 Republican senators who were opposed to this idea. To be fair, they were alive when the original thing was passed. Don't get me started. But it's going to open up some tax breaks, and it's going to make it easier for people dealing with marijuana. It's a state-approved, state-licensed process to provide marijuana in dispensaries. And there can still be troubles getting, things like a bank account. We've heard stories all over the country. Well, that's going to ease up and in some cases eliminate those problems. Schedule 3, the official definition for it, those drugs are defined as having moderate to low potential for physical and psychological dependence. I've talked about it before. We don't have time to go into it today. Go look up why marijuana was made illegal. It wasn't about the drug part. It was about paper. Regular old garden variety. Pull out a fresh sheet of paper and grab your pencil. It's time to take the test. Paper. That's how it happened. Well, that and a really rich guy getting his way and making sure that he keeps his rich money. Not saying it's good or bad. I'm just reporting a fact there. And now President Trump has taken it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 as long as you've got the correct plug. As long as the government sold it to you. If you're planning on going to meet some guy named Eddie behind the dumpster out back of the Chuck E. Cheese to get your fix, well, that's still a Schedule 1. They'll still double bust you for that one. Now, guy down in Florida, Destin, Florida to be exact, North Carolina man, was arrested last night. And they're blowing this out of proportion. And I'm not really saying that because he was apparently going to travel to the Jazz Fest this weekend in New Orleans and shoot a bunch of people and then commit suicide by cop. He had a whole thing planned out. Deputies recovered a handgun and about 200 rounds of ammunition. The handgun was in its case. He had 2 boxes of ammo. Well, 3 boxes of ammo. Looks like a little snub-nosed Glock. Probably it might be a 40, but there's one round I'm looking at there. It could be a 38. And that's it. Now, they triggered on this guy using the flock system and figured out what he was doing. There was a warrant out for suspected potential terroristic threats in New Orleans. So they arrested him in Destin and they're extraditing him. Why? I'm going to say this again. I realize nobody has the capability to just, stay home, prop your feet up, take a nap in the recliner, get out, work in the yard some, play with the grandkids, go hunting, go fishing, play Frisbee. I don't care what you do. No, we have to go get in a big gathering of tens of thousands of other peoples and wait for the gunfire to start.
If you cry
Over and over and over, this keeps happening. Our desperate need to go to big, enormous events or even house parties has completely obliterated our sense of pattern recognition in this country. You know, every time I stick my hand in that hole, snake bites me. Wonder if he's still there. Stick your hand in again. Really? Really? We're in an IQ desert at this point. Final break. We'll close it down next.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selman's, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selman's. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have to pray. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world.
That'll do it. We're out of time. I'm sure you saw the story about the representative from Georgia, I believe he was, who passed away this week. Back on Tuesday. Tuesday night, he died. Tuesday afternoon, he cast his final vote in the House as they pushed him around in a wheelchair. I'm not making any of this up. And then went home and passed away. He was 80. This is what you get when, and I'm not exaggerating, go look this well as one less now, but the stats as of Monday, in this Congress, 117 people are age 70 or older. Oldest Congress in American history, so no, it's not normal. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy that weather. Go Jaguars. Hitting the diamond tonight. First round of the playoffs. Be there.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.